Reporting live.
For
In good company. Our guest today,
Cameron Klippsten.
Cameron Klippsten. Reporting live. The guy is a man of many hats. One of the funniest people around. He's a coach. He's a leader. He is a Renaissance man.
Quite truly and honestly. And locally known as Camsterdam.
Camsterdam.
And if you're really close to him and happen to be behind him, not in that way. I meant behind him in traffic. He's better known as Cam Jam.
Yeah, Cam Jam, baby. Welcome. In good company.
Let's talk about your date night that you just had. The girl that you like.
Ooh, we're getting into that. Yes, I had a date recently. It was flying colors. It was
And how
great.
I immediately made a competition against her.
Oh my God. This is so great. So this girl is just so sweet. And she invited me over for dinner and she went all out. She all out. Short rib pappardelle, arugula shaved, really phenomenal.
Oh boy.
And I have this thing I need to work on. If one of my friends calls, I answer it.
You do.
And it's a good and a bad thing.
You know what annoys the shit out of me that you do? We'll be out and you'll speakerphone with your sister and the baby, and you'll be making baby noises, like mad loud.
Okay, well that's a FaceTime.
It's in the morning.
It's always in the morning.
When it's like peaceful and I just want it to be quiet.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden it's like full on Judah nephew mode.
Okay, you know why?
Which I get.
Because
Like,
my
I'm not
niece
hating
is
it.
really happy in the morning. For instance, today, 9:30 New York time, and she's waking up. And today I watched my niece eat food for the first time. She had eggs.
Yeah.
So I woke up at 6:30, half asleep, and my niece eating for the first time.
No, I get
was
it.
adorable.
I get it. Like, you're the uncle. I get it. But at the same time, sometimes I'm just like, man, can I get 2 more sips of this Americano at 9:30 a.m.
Hey, listen, I'm going to throw some stuff at you. Listen, Unc was unkin.
Unc was unkin.
Unc was unkin.
That was a good caption.
It was a phenomenal caption.
Unc is unkin.
He's also an uncle, great uncle.
Thank you.
But he's not
thank you.
answering FaceTimes like I am.
No.
I'm a 247 uncle,
You are
bro.
24/7 FaceTimer.
Speaking of being an Unc, the drip.
You're the drip. This is my 5-star of the day.
That's we're hopping 5-star right now.
My niece made this.
It's so sick.
Carterline Curry. Sassiest, most beautiful girl ever.
She is stunning.
She's stunning. She's so sassy. Man, she calls me best friend. Like that's her. She'll call me like, hi, best friend. Like that's her thing. It's like our thing, right? And I threw something away I didn't know. It was like a muffin that looked like it was done. And I threw it away and she was like, where'd my muffin go? And I was like, oh, Carter, my bad. Like I threw it away. And she started pouting. So I go and get her another one. And I come back and she goes, hi, worst friend.
Just quick flip.
Just broke my heart, bro. I was just like, oh, but she's so sad. She's just so smart. That's what it is. She's just so damn smart. But anyways, she made this hat and got to support. Got
Honestly, I love it. She actually spray painted it herself?
No, I mean, dude, no. She's not like
I don't know.
Michelangelo, bro. It's just
Yes, she is. You can be whatever you want, Carter.
yeah, be whatever you want. What is your 5-star?
My 5-star this week is actually, I wear it every single day, and I did not wear it one day, and I was like, I need to wear it. It's my native deodorant. No aluminum. Not really scented. You can't make the face. I'm giving my 5-star.
Oh, my bad.
Fuck.
Okay.
Would you probably use some nice one?
No, I just use fucking,
One with aluminum.
of course.
Let me continue my thing here.
Come on, walk around stink, man.
Okay, let me just get to my story here.
All right. 5-star.
My
away.
5-star is native deodorant. Absolutely incredible. There's no aluminum, so it's good for you, and it smells great. It's like little set like cotton and lavender and all the ones that have aluminum and a bunch of crap in it. This is like organic and great. Definitely go get it.
Native. I've never used it. I'm not a big natural deodorant guy.
Me and him have the same facialist, and she's all about what's in the product.
She
And
is.
the way she said it was like, you don't go to the gym for a day and get in shape. And the products you use down the line, using them for a long time, have an effect. So I don't want to wear anything with
That's fair.
aluminum and has bad stuff in it.
That's
so
fair.
native deodorant,
Native
5-star.
Okay.
Our guest today is pretty eclectic, pretty rad. What's the song for this guy?
The song for him is based on my Spotify end of the year favorite artists, favorite songs. And surprisingly, my favorite artist this year, like by far and away, was Lil Yachty. He put out my favorite album of the year.
And your top song was his?
Most of the songs I played over and over and over again. And one of my favorites from his album is called Black Seminole.
Let's hear it. This song is so good. I remember you showed me it, and I was just like...
Yeah, the name of the album is called Let's Start Here. And the artwork is just very polarizing. It's like people, like it's almost like politicians in like a courtroom and their faces are all like distorted. Kind of had a little Kanye-esque vibe to it.
It's definitely so different than anything he's put out
I mean, dude.
in the best way possible.
Yeah. And also, like, this is a different sound that you just would not hear anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's not mainstream. It's not really made for radio. I mean, the song is like
Here's
8
the thing.
minutes long.
I hope it's mainstream because it's so much better than a lot of the stuff that's put out right now.
So cinematic and like some of the word like African Rambo with more ammo. Like who says shit like that? This is so cool.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal song.
Yeah.
Good song of the week.
Good song. What is your movie of the week?
My movie of the week is a sleeper for some people, which makes me kind of sad. It's a movie you and I both love. One of the best soundtracks ever, which is how the movie got made.
I already know what it is.
It is Drive with Ryan Gosling. If you have not seen Drive with Ryan Gosling, wow. It's a phenomenal movie. Please go watch it. Phenomenal soundtrack.
One of his most unique roles. I would say Drive and A Place Beyond the Pines are his two most unique roles.
Two of his best roles.
Yeah, deepest.
Drive is a love story, darker love story. Phenomenal soundtrack. And a little tidbit of fun. The movie was not going to get made. The director did not want to do it. And the director didn't have a car. So Ryan Gosling drove him home and played music. And then they just drove through Mulholland listening to music in his car, got to the end, and he was just like, all these ideas for the movie. And that's how it got made.
Wow. Drive is a blast.
It's so good. Please go watch it.
I love how you just skipped over this whole like date that you were on.
My 5 stars should have been your meal. We've talked about it before. It's so nice when someone takes the time to ask you what you want and then go to the grocery store, get all of these beautiful ingredients, cook you the meal. It was
She know what she's doing.
phenomenal. And then she was
A girl cook for you.
and she went to Bordeaux in 2018 and was like, I brought back 6 bottles. Would you like to have one of the bottles I brought from Bordeaux? I was like,
But you were so happy. Like when
oh my God.
I could hear it in your voice because you sent me a voice memo. I'm like, this guy's belly is full.
Oh yeah.
He probably just made love. He's probably just melting in her bed. She probably has a fucking dog. He's probably just sitting there
Cuddled.
like, yeah, bro, you're a noodle, bro. I already knew it.
She is so sweet. But while we're hanging out, Jeremiah's texting me and you sent me a photo of what you cooked that night, which looked fuego.
That was crazy.
And then there's a back and forth with her and Jeremiah. And he goes, "What would you say? You're like, you challenged her to a cook-off."
I challenged her to a
this
duel,
weekend.
yeah.
He
I challenged her to a
cook-off.
cook-off. Because I'm just psycho, bro. I just want to make everything a competition.
She was here for it. She was ready.
I'm sure there's a rocket.
Oh,
I'm so confident. So
She loved it. She also loved the one at the end. He was like, let's have a cook. And this is where you pivoted. We were cracking up at the end of your voice memo. You were like, yeah, let's have a cookout. And if you have any normal, sane friends.
I don't have any cute, normal, sane friends, please. Like we could just do a double.
And she was
date.
like, oh my God, I have tons.
Go
So we'll
ahead.
do that.
You didn't tell me that part. Well, good.
Yeah. She's so sweet. And it was phenomenal. Short rib pappardelle.
Sounds legit.
Oh my God.
How did you meet this girl?
Our guest today, we can both chime in with our guest today. He is eclectic. He's my coach. He's like an older brother to me.
He's older bro vibes.
He's an entrepreneur. He was a model. He's a club promoter and partner.
He's a Renaissance man.
He is the definition of a Renaissance man.
Yes, he is.
One of the best guys I've ever met. Teammate of ours. He was on our team when we won the Santa Monica
He's on our
Men's
local
Championship.
basketball team. That's how I
Santa
met
Monica
him.
Men's League, baby. Champs. That's how I met you.
Yeah, he recruited me.
We met through him.
He recruited me at his nightclub.
Oh, I can't wait for him to tell this story. Our guest today is no one other. He's known by Camsterdam or the Cameron Klippsten.
Cameron Klippsten.
I almost want to start with how we met.
As I say, yeah.
Let's start with how
Let's
we
start at the
met.
beginning.
I feel like we have
Start
to.
at the beginning.
How are you guys here?
Because of you.
I just
So
wanna hear.
rhetorical.
Cameron Klippsten introduced us.
Introduced
I'll go
me
for a
to-
sec. You're a connector.
It's one of the
But
things
you
I
also
do.
have like a very, very good eye with things. Like I met him 9 years ago, almost 10 years ago now. I was a waiter at a restaurant, and in LA, people just treat you like you're not even a human.
Shout out Marvin.
Marvin. And I'm just working. You're super busy. People are like usually really rude to you and don't give you the time of day. And you like stopped me. And you said it the other night when we were all together too. You're like, you got like a Paul Newman, like old school Hollywood thing. I was so happy because that's like my favorite era is old Hollywood. But you stopped, like you talked to me, you treated me like a human, and you just invited me into your world immediately. Kind of like an older brother,
Yeah.
which is what I said when we introed you. You were just so kind. You were so polite and saw something in me and then started introducing me to playing basketball with people. Cut to, I don't know, 6 years later, you're like,
you're on my squad. You ball. Let's do it. Putting a team together, and then cut to meeting
Well, you convinced me that you had a good jump shot. So then we had like a little tryout session, and that's how we went there.
Game speaks for itself. There's no convincing. When the ball goes in the hole.
A lot of people who come out to LA and they're working, they're in their thing, and we all go out to these great restaurants, and you know that the people hustling are actors. I grew up out here, and my stepdad had a talent agency, and so I grew up in that world. And so you know that everybody's hustling, so you never know who somebody's going to be at the end of the day, or if they can connect with you on a project or anything. So why not give that little bit of kindness to help boost somebody up? And it's nice when it comes back, right, as we do, but it takes that certain person on the other end to step up and then like, all right, let's go. Life is like a little joust. You just got to step it up.
Well, I told Cam, I was like, connecting and bridging that gap with people is a skill and a talent that I don't think people recognize immediately or even give credit for. But look where we are now.
Yeah, my whole thing with anything I do, still to this day, every single little thing I do, everything I do is always never thinking you're going to get something back in return, right? You just do it for your own sake and your own enjoyment. And if people pick up on that, then great. And if somehow there's something you can figure out how to monetize, if it lines up right, yes. But sometimes that it can also ruin things.
Yeah,
so
if a working relationship is birthed from it, awesome. That's just a bonus. That's just sprinkles.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it was for me. There was no like end game for you.
Yeah.
No. Like, oh, you're a rad dude. You're a nice guy.
And we followed up, and that's when that happened. Yeah, I remember that.
Which is rare in LA too. Like LA is the place of, oh, let's meet up, let's hang out. You never see them ever again.
You were working with another friend of mine, Marcel Vigneron, chef.
Who I want to have on.
Yeah, right? He's great. He's my boy. He's my fucking brother. Great chef. And we had him and I connected one night, howling at the moon on some mushrooms, and had some crazy night, went surfing the next day or something. And I remember when he built his restaurant, like I would go there in the middle of the night, we'd see the concrete being poured, and I'd just come in there and give him my take on things. And then you started working there. I was like, perfect. That's
and you were my favorite customer.
There we go. And then I was just hanging at the bar.
I got
That's what I do.
I was a great bartender, but also at the same time, the worst bartender ever. Because I just gave shit away.
Yeah.
Like he would come in.
I wouldn't hire you.
I would not. I just wouldn't charge him. You'd come in, you'd have like drinks and food, and there's things that you have to charge for. Like you're getting food, cool. You have to type it in. The food has to come out. But I was like, bottle of wine.
There's also like, hey, by the way, like I'll tip you. Like I get it. Like hey, here comes some cash to you. Just hook me up. Sorry, Marcel.
Oh, here's the thing. I gave away so much they closed.
Of course, but
no
you know what?
Around.
You know what?
I gave away too much stuff. Sorry.
Oh, so you were the downfall of his restaurant.
And eventually they figured it out when they started paying me to be at places. And then also with you, right?
We met at Doheny Room.
Yep.
This is my first time I've ever been there.
Great story.
How long ago was this? 6 years?
When was Paul Pierce playing for the Clippers?
5, 6 years ago?
6 years ago? Ages ago?
At least 6 years ago.
Long time. That's a long time ago.
I don't know who I was there with or why I was there.
Yeah.
I really don't even remember.
I thought you were alone.
No, I was with somebody. I'm just naturally
You were meeting
alone.
somebody, yeah.
I was just at the bar chilling solo. Like,
That's such a power move, especially at Doheny.
Yeah.
Loud, crazy. You're just chilling.
Yeah.
I was hanging in there, and I always love it's like this room, and you see it's like orchestrating how, like, who's moving around, where, what. And I always like to say I'm like a Ted Danson up in there. Just like kind of like making sure everybody's having a good time, drinks, all that kind of shit. And then I remember seeing Jeremiah walk in there. I'm like, I don't know this cat, but he's just kind of like looking around. And I was just like, I can't help myself. I was like, yo, what's up? And I do this quite often. I'd always like, hey, you want a drink? That's actually how I picked up my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay, but
yeah, he offered me a drink. I was just like, all right, cool.
No, but I was like,
he's like, you saw this tall dude at the bar. He's like, who's this guy?
I was like, who are you meeting? I was like, come and hang with my crew. And then we had like this fun night. Brought your friends over, did the whole thing. But the funny thing was, at the end of the night, all of a sudden you come up and you go, hey, Cam, man, you're not like these other nightlife guys, man. You're so nice. You want to come to a Clipper playoff game with me tomorrow night? Yeah. And I was like,
you're like, what?
I looked at you. I was like, we're moving a little too fast there. Like, hold on, let's bump the brakes. I was like, your dad's Doc? Like Doc Rivers? I was like, all right, let's go.
I think we were just like talking, and because he knew I played ball, and we had conversations about it.
Yeah, we're talking about hoops that night.
Yeah, and then it's like one thing leads to another.
I think I was probably trying to recruit you to be.
That's what I was gonna say. It was from the kindness of your heart, but the second you saw a 6'4" guy,
he's
by
trying to
himself,
recruit me.
you're like, 6'4", we're looking for a forward.
You got these
work.
adult leagues in LA. You got the Beverly Hills League and you had the West Side League, and I was always trying to form my squad.
You were literally the coach.
Yeah,
you're Popovich.
And
after I invited him, I just moved out here, so I didn't know anybody. So I was just like, this guy seemed cool. Like, let me just, I don't have him come.
It's like, do we have good seats? You're like, yeah, we got.
It's like, yeah,
we got some decent seats.
We have like decent seats. I'm like, kind of cool. It's third row, we good.
Should I tell the story?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, within the span of 24 hours, all of a sudden I link up with you. We go to this game, right? And so we go to the playoff game, and we're sitting in second row. And look, I'm a Laker fan. It's like you walk into a Clipper game, it's just like you get that other feeling. No offense, but like you just get that feeling. Like it's just like whatever.
I never liked them.
Yeah. So you're sitting in the Clipper game. It's like whatever, and then they lose, and then you're like, hey, Kim, like, all right, let's go back. We're going to meet my dad in his office. And I'm like, wait, and I'm like the little kid who used to go to the preseason, like GTU shootout, meet all the players. I would sit next to players' girlfriends as a kid because I knew that would get me in to get autographs and shit. Yeah. So all of a sudden I'm like, wait, we're going back? We're going back to the office? Okay. So we go through the tunnel, we do the thing. All of a sudden, we're entering Doc's office.
Well, was that the first time, like, doing the thing?
Well, I mean, I've been down I didn't go in a locker room as a kid or anything like that, but I've been down and met some players down by the tunnel, but not back like that.
And you were in.
And I was in. And all of a sudden, we walk in, and you got your brother, Austin's in there. He just played the game. He's sweating. You got your sister. You got Doc with his feet up on the desk.
Yeah.
And I come through the door, and he's like, hey, can we get my boy Cam in here? He's like, Cam, yeah, come on in. You know, and I get stuck in like the back of the office. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Am I in like a dream? Like, this is like hilarious. And Doc just sits there, and he looks at you three, and he goes, all right, tough loss. Who we starting next game? And I was like, wait, like, that's how it works? You just ask the fam? Like, shit. Like,
pretty much.
And literally he goes around and nobody's saying a word because what are you going to say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he goes, Cam.
He looks at Cam.
Why?
My dad just wanted to get his thoughts.
New energy.
I loved it. He goes, Cam, what'd you think? I was like, to be honest, Doc, I mean, your boy Paul Pierce, he won a championship against my Lakers back in the day. He's a little older, but why not give him a shot to close the games out, hit some threes, maybe start and close the game.
Still got a little juice left in the tank.
Wait, he played for the Clippers?
Yeah, for like a year.
And so then all of a sudden he goes, good point. Paul Pierce started that next game, and they won. And that was it.
So now we all know.
And the rest is history.
He's an assistant coach for the Clippers.
There we go.
What are the odds he took your advice and then they win?
I don't know. Maybe I should be hired more.
Did that add to your ego slightly?
It was just a great story. It's one of my top 5 favorite stories of all time.
That's a great story.
I think that added to you being like the coach.
Yeah, Coach Cam definitely came out of that. And then we get together, and when we form our squad.
Our squad was built by you, though.
Yeah,
handpicked.
I had to take the back seat. I wasn't the scorer. I had to be Coach Cam and sit back and then bring in the squad, which was great.
But you did like an actual coach.
We won a championship. That's pretty much all that matters, which was fantastic.
But you literally every game, I remember, because we had really great pieces to our puzzle.
Yeah.
We had you, we had big guys, small guys, and all of us had like crazy personalities. I got thrown out of like, I don't know, 3 different games.
You were hot-headed.
And every game, you'd be like, Judah, do this, Judah, do that. You coached all of us so well. And then we went.
You came fired up a few times.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's within the right guideline of sportsmanship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's it. Sports, though, within that kind of realm, right? And now I'm getting into golf, and that's more individual, whatever. But it shows you a side of a person, right, that you don't normally see, right? And so without that, we wouldn't be as tight as we are because we got the blood, sweat, tears, and feel that. It's like out of the comfort zone. It's like, I'm a fucking maniac. You want to fucking go? Let's go.
There's a camaraderie built
Exactly.
when you are like blood, sweat, and tears with someone else on your team. It's forever.
Absolutely. It's nice seeing Judah hit a jump shot, though. It's unexpected. You're like this short little white dude from Colorado. You're like, yeah, there you go. No, it's great.
Wet.
My
shot was wet.
Absolutely.
For being 5'9".
Yeah,
absolutely.
If I was 6'4", guys.
Wetter than some other short white guys on our squad.
You got Suki J.
I love it.
Real nice.
So question for you guys. So you guys get together with this podcast and give me a little background on it in terms of angles and bringing people together.
We've had a few guests, and they're incredible people, and their stories are insightful for other people to hear.
Yeah.
And I think for you, and like kind of why we wanted you on this one, you come from LA, which everyone in the world wants to be here. You did the modeling thing. You've had a crazy career. And it's not always, people think of LA, it's like, oh, it's glorious. It's super beautiful. There's parts to it that are really, really hard. So with talking with you, less about the fluff the lights and everything. And
Absolutely.
It's not always
real-
glitz and glamour.
Yes. Yeah.
it's mostly not glamour, I feel like.
A
There's a lot of hard things that you go through,
Yeah.
right?
All the glitters is not gold.
A friend of mine told me
Jesus.
once, and he's from Venice, born and raised. He was like, LA is an endurance race.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people come here and they retire. 2-3 years out, they're out of here. 4 years out, they're out of here. And it's like, if you can settle in, dig your feet in, he goes, it can happen for you. It will happen for you, but it's an endurance. So you have to endure LA. Because LA is not going to be kind to you in most of the time, especially initially.
Yeah.
But I really like that thought process of like in LA is an endurance race. Just keep on moving forward. Just keep on going, and it will happen for you. It'll find you.
Yeah. I moved out here from New York City, from Manhattan, Upper East Side. Okay. When I was like 9-10 years old, 91. So I got the 80s in New York, which was great. The 90s in LA. Magic Gets HIV.
Very different.
NWA.
Bulls are dominating.
Bulls. I was a Sean Kemp fan. 2 Live Crew. All that good stuff.
Yeah, you moved here when it was hot.
And so the thing is like even coming from New York was my father had passed away. My mom remarried, and they had a clothing brand together in New York. There was it was a successful clothing brand. It was like a Donna Karan, Liz Claiborne is my mother's brand. And they were divorced when I was like 1, but they were still like business partners and like best friends and did the thing. And so my mom remarries after he passes, and we come out here, and then the LA kids were still like, oh, like you're New York. So I felt that always, right? And so
As an outcast?
yeah, I had to
Okay.
prove myself, right?
Yeah,
so like
yeah.
so when I can see anybody who comes out to LA, because LA is made, really the people that make LA are not actual. I mean, look, there's a lot of people who are born and raised and they make LA what it is, okay? But there are a lot more people who are
Like
not from here,
90%,
okay, that
yeah.
actually make it, okay, what it is, right?
Yeah.
In many different creative fields and all that kind of stuff. And so I always like to help guide them and tell them like, hey, look, like you come out here to find yourself. It's not about fitting in with this, or you see like this and like, oh, it's fake or this. No, like don't like just you gotta you drive Mulholland, you take Sunset, you smoke your J, you listen to your Zeppelin, you go jump in the ocean when the sun goes down and scare yourself in the dark or whatever fuck you got to do to like jolt yourself to be like, all right, like what's it gonna take for me to get this creative juices flowing so I can come up with an idea or do something that is different. Unless you just want to be like everyone else, in which case you shouldn't live here, you know? So anyway, there's like that kind of vibe that I like to bring. It's the New Yorker always in me, but I'm an LA guy.
Is that why when I moved, because when I first met you, I told you I moved from New York. I think that's one of the first things that we like kind of connected on. And I think coming from New York to here, it definitely brings a different mindset. Did you feel like you had that when you were 10 moving here?
Absolutely.
Like you were like, I'm built different than
It just in a different way, not like better, just built in a different way.
Did you go straight from high school into what? Into modeling?
My stepfather was in the agency business. Can recite like anything from Shakespeare. He's just like,
Oh, wow.
just awesome.
Is that the same agency that I'm with?
Yes,
They're still around, right?
CSD, yeah.
That's so
he helped
wild.
start that, and he had this great agency.
CSD, right?
It's a great agency. But his advice to me was, hey, don't ever become an actor. So I always interned and I saw how it all worked. And I went back to school on the East Coast and a school called Quinnipiac. And once I graduated, I knew I wanted to come back out west. I was going to work in the agency business, right? And then a friend of mine showed up one day and he's like, yo, like real estate is popping, this and this. And before you know it, I got into that world. My stepdad's like, you better have your first and last month's rent, pal. And I'm like, what, on 18 grand? How am I going to do this?
Yeah.
And so I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go do real estate. And within like a month, like my psycho ass became Ben Affleck in fucking Boiler Room. And I fucking started running an office of 30 guys. I was like, let's fucking go. Red Bulls on your feet, fucking suit, 8 to 8, 3 years.
Yeah.
Got the sports car, the fucking house, all this shit. And then I was like, what am I doing with my fucking life? And I was like, I'd rather ride a bicycle. And then I quit, just before the market crashed conveniently. And so I got into this acting studio and it was a great place to kind of find yourself. You know what I mean? You want to be comfortable in your own skin, become better at public speaking, anything, you fucking throw yourself into an acting class.
Why did you stop modeling? And where did you pivot from?
I started doing some commercials, did a little modeling. It's vain. It's nice to see brands and friends that you can work with that you can help build their brands. and I did that with a handful of brands, and it was cool. People are like, pick a lane and you do your shit. I like having my many lanes, which become maybe one lane at the end of the road. But I just felt like people were like, oh, you do this, you do your model. And so I just kind of stepped away from that so I could get more into acting.
They're kind of typecasting you.
Exactly. Yeah. So you got to step away a little bit.
Because you are a multi-dimensional guy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He said earlier, you're a Renaissance man.
Yeah.
there we go. LA Renaissance.
Like you do a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Which is incredible. That's like a really fulfilled life.
I mean, look, you got to throw enough shit on the wall and see what sticks.
When did you start with the like throwing shit on the wall?
Yeah.
When was that shit a company?
The whole flow of life, right? It's like one thing leads to another, right? One day, a friend of mine, Nick Montalegre, who's my man, calls me up one day, and he was head of nightlife at SBE, and he hit me up one day, and he was like, Cam, he's like, I'm opening this new spot, Doheny Room, over on Doheny in Santa Monica, next to Dantana's. You want to be like the face of this new spot?
It's like before it opens.
Yeah, before it opens, but it was like basically almost like set up. I was like, what do you mean, like the face? Like, what does this mean? He's like, no, like we're gonna give you like a piece of it. You know, you'll be a part owner, and you'll just be like the face. And I was like, well, I don't know what I'm doing. He's like, no, we'll figure it out. I was like, okay, and then it turned into a pretty good thing.
Turned into a whirlwind, I feel like.
Yeah.
How many years?
Like you are Doheny Room.
Yeah. It was great. It was great. The first day on the job was 50 employees standing there, and I walked in and I was like, look, I've never done this before. I was like, I don't know how I got hired. I was like, but we're gonna have a really good time. And I was like the only guy who, from like the dishwasher to security to front and back of the house, like really cared to get to know everybody. And so that was what was interesting, is that in nightlife, everybody's got their own ego and agenda, and I think they're so fucking cool. Yeah.
What do you think it is in you that they saw? They're like, you're our guy. You're Mr. Doheny Room. Because they were right. They were 100% right.
Sometimes people can see something that you don't even see, like in yourself, right? And that's what I like to do with people, right? I also think that, you know, whatever, an energy. I bring a little fire and realness to the table. And yeah, just funny. I mean, even at that same time, like right now there's like that dating app Raya, okay?
You guys don't even know the origin story of me and Raya?
Well, you got to hear my...
Do you know who we have to blame here? Who got me on?
This guy?
This guy.
No way.
Oh my! I took
You created this monster?
Literally, I was like, Cam.
Whoa.
And also, when I got on, it had just recently come out, and it was super exclusive. And I knew probably 30 people that couldn't get on. Waitlisted. And I go, Cam, you know anybody with Ryan? He goes, yeah. 2 days, boom, on.
So,
and that's why the floodgate just.
At one point, this is back in the day, I was with an ex who I'm still dear friends with to this day. I'm friends with her husband and her kid. Like, she's like one of my best friends, Caroline Freeland. Okay. And at the time, I remember I was just doing the acting commercials. I think I just like booked like a McDonald's commercial or some shit. It was like a nice win. And I had an electric Fiat. Okay. I went from like my sports car to like an electric Fiat, and I still fucking was a G, like rolling around in my fucking like Italian celebrity, like look, electric Fiat. It was like, I don't give a fuck.
You were one of the few people that could make a Fiat fucking rad.
Dude, I drove.
If I was in a Fiat, not tight.
I drove to Compton and got my cell phone back one time.
That is one of my favorite stories.
That's a bomb story.
Yeah, I'll tell you later. But
We gotta do that.
But anyway, I'm in the car with her one day, and one of the guys who helped pop Rye off and create it, I get a phone call. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Like, what's up? Like, he's like, Cam, like, this is so weird. We just did this algorithm on our new app, and she's chiming in. She's like, oh, hey, I'm here. And he's like, well, Cam, he's like number 2 on our algorithm behind the celebrity as like our most famous, like our most connected guy on the thing. I want to see if he wants to be on the board. Why the fuck is he on this dating app? Pulls over the car, fuck you, slaps me. Like, I was like, whoa, what is this thing? Like, what's going on? Fast forward, we break up like a few months later, she gets on there. It was like comedy. But
Fuck you for being on it. Can I get on, please?
Anyway,
Can you get me on?
I love her. She's great. But no, I've helped a lot of people get on there, even like all the time. Recently, I've never used it. I've never used dating apps. I'm like a serendipitous like kind of guy. I need to be like.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I like serendipity too. We matched. Yeah. We matched. This is saying something, baby.
But
because you gotta both like each other. It's not a one-way street. You like me, I like you.
But you know, here's what I'll say: is that because when you're asking that question, like I don't know what that like je ne sais quoi, whatever that fucking thing is, and I'm still trying to like grab a hold of it. But
It's definitely an energy.
but it's a thing that keeps moving forward. And you know what? I rise with the sun, and I'm a happy motherfucker, and I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
So when you were doing that, as far as like, I don't know, making a living, what was that nightlife?
Well, I was Doheny,
Yeah.
right, and then I was also had a piece of this thing and was like director of marketing,
Got it.
and that stuff.
What was dating like while you were having to go to Doheny 3-4 nights a week and like
Yeah.
around the most beautiful girls in the world?
So
you
the
know,
so the interest.
drug, sex, and alcohol. That is nightlife.
I was waiting for this question.
So we can cut any of this out.
No, we're good. No, I was fresh off of a breakup, right? It's like, it's a playground. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest.
Yeah, it's an adult
I
playground.
love my girlfriend right now, but my future,
does love you so much.
I want to marry you. But no, but this is back in the day, and so I'm fresh off of a breakup, and you're in there. But you know, the weird thing was this: I just can read stuff. Like when guys can look at somebody and they see like a painted face and shit, I'm just like, get me away from that. Like I can see something, I can see a problem from a mile away.
Yeah.
Okay. And so when I'm in there, I remember like when we would hire promoters, this was new to me, right? Because I was like, wait, like I see like a group of 10 girls at a table and a guy like standing there, and I'm like trying to get people to dance, and then I realized I had like the power to like, I'd come over, I'd be like, hey, like, you guys want to come dance? They're like, oh no, we're supposed to stay at this table. I was like, well, I guess like I hired him, so come dance. Like,
Ipso
like
facto,
feel free.
I'm your boss.
Yeah. Feel free to do what you want to do. And that was what ended up happening. It became a place that was free and open, where it wasn't like, yo, look at me. Like, this is my table. Like,
No, it's not
here's
that
my
energy.
thing.
That's the
right?
thing
It was
at
more.
clubs
It was
that
more. It was
stinks.
open, and it was just freedom to do what the fuck you want to do. To answer your question, when it comes to like the dating and stuff like that, I would see all that stuff. Obviously, like there's some fun to be had, but there's like few and far between, because everybody who comes through there, usually like they're just like kind of like this is how I need to be, and so it was rare.
They come in there like really not even being themselves.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why, like, honestly, I met my now girlfriend, like, and I remember I was
You met her at Doheny Room.
yeah, I'm standing at the top of the bar, and she'll love this because I tell a story all the time. But literally, I'm at the top of the bar, and this is like I don't even know, like last couple of years of Doheny Room. I'm at the top, and I'm just tired. Came from Dantana's at dinner, and I'm at the top of the stairs, and this girl comes walking up, and we just catch eyes, and we like do this thing.
You do the eye dance.
Like, we didn't stop. We just did the thing, and she had a guy next to her, and we're doing the thing, and I come to my bartender, and he looks at me, and we look back at her. I was like, let's get him some shots, you know. We get some shots, and then the guy goes to the bathroom, and all this life preparation, all this life preparation of getting to know myself and all this shit, all was this one moment. I was just like, here we go. And I just walked over. I said, look, you're the most gorgeous girl I've ever seen in my life. I was like, I don't know what this is. I'm supposed to be working right now. You want to get out of here? And she goes, okay. We got out of there. That was it.
What?
That was it. We've been together ever since.
Night one.
That was it. Just that one moment, right? So anyway, it just, to sum it up, it's just like that place could breed that kind of energy, right? It's just like making people feel comfortable and doing that kind of shit.
So that was a needle in the haystack.
Hey, look.
Because every time I would come in, so many girls would hit on you. And I think most of the ones that did were not the one, like not the girls you want to date, right?
Exactly.
That's the hard part with a place like that.
At some point, how does it not wear on you? And did you find a point where like just be like, hold up, Cam, I need to slow down. I'm going too hard.
Yeah. Look, like I was like into the acting and this craft and all this shit, and you get dragged in this thing, right? And this is like, in hindsight, it's like great times, right?
And you don't have really time to stop and think. You're just like, let's go.
But by the way, I'm a better man from it, right?
Yeah, of course.
And as I get like a little couple gray whiskers, I'm like, hey, let's get some commercial. Maybe I could be on, like, get this shit going again.
You have a 25-year-old hairline. Your hairline is top notch.
But when it started getting like going, we opened up a spot in Miami at the Delano.
At the Delano.
Okay, and we brought Doheny down there, and my first trip down there was just like a whirlwind. I don't think I slept for 3 days. And it just so happened that LeBron was on the Cavs, and he was coming to play Miami. So now all of a sudden I'm in the back, sitting here. This is how luck would have you. I'm sitting back on the thing at Liv. right? Which is like the best like night,
That's the Holy
supposedly,
Grail
right? I've
night.
only been once.
It's in Miami, Sunday.
Never
Live.
even heard of
And
it.
it's like the stadium style kind of shit.
Stadium status.
And all of a sudden they come in, and who sits in the split on another table? LeBron sits right next to me. And all of a sudden it's, champagne coming, and he taps me, and it's mask off. And my boys are looking at me like, what the fuck? Like, how are you sitting with LeBron shaking the chairs? I'm like, I don't know what's going on right now. And I think after that, I fell asleep in a cabana, and I got woken up like, Mr. Doheny, are you okay? You alive?
How did LeBron know you? Back from my assistant coaching days for Doc. So wait, did the Doheny one in Miami do well, or
It lasted for, I think, a few years. It was just the Delano. They were going to do some construction or something on it, so it like stopped. But I think it introduced something to Miami, which was more of like a lounge kind of chill style, which they normally didn't do, which I think was dope.
Yeah. What is some wisdom you would preach to young Cam, 21-year-old Cam? Let's say height of Doheny, end of Doheny. Like looking back now, is there anything you would tell young 21-year-old, aspiring Cam?
straight out of New York?
Straight NY.
I'm just laughing because young Cam is the guy who lost his virginity at the end of senior year of high school and was like a really nice like class president, like didn't smoke, drink, athlete of the year, blah blah blah. Right. As far as what I'd tell him, I would just say I would want to get to things quicker, sooner. I'm a late bloomer. I love that too because like that's why I'm like young at heart at like my age, right? But like it's
that's what I love about you.
But also if I started younger, maybe I would have just been like angry and burnt out. And that wouldn't have worked out.
What do you mean it was starting younger, like entrepreneurially or just like blossoming?
In every single aspect. The hardest thing in life is to do nothing, right? William S. Burroughs.
Yeah.
But once you can do nothing, you can have everything.
Can I tell you guys something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I've never done drugs.
Wow. You take an Advil.
Sure.
I'm fucking around.
That's a
fucking around.
drug.
Took an Advil.
So never smoked weed.
Caffeine.
Strong as a
I've
drug.
never smoked.
We're gonna take off the jacket for
I've
this
never
one.
smoked weed.
Doc, you raised a
Yeah.
great kid.
As a close friend?
My dad instills so much fear in me, bro. You guys know my dad's voice. Can you imagine him talking to you when you're 10 years old?
Doc's going to see this story?
And for people who don't know, my dad's voice is one of the most unique voices ever. It's the deepest, raspiest voice. Intimidating voice, maybe ever.
Yeah.
It's like that James Earl Jones, like it's so distinctive.
Oof.
And as an 8-year-old, 10-year-old, 12, as a kid, man, you talking about like putting the fear of God in you.
I couldn't imagine.
When I knew I was in trouble, because my dad, like, he's not like just like send you to your room, he's gonna whip me. And my dad's 6'5", strong as an ox.
Mm-hmm.
Man, when I got in trouble and I would hear him, you could hear from downstairs. Jeremiah! I was like, oh man.
Oh boy.
Like, I would
About to get whooped.
Dude, he whooped me with a cast on. Bro, he broke it. My dad was a great dad. He's not abusive.
When you said your dad is strong as an ox, the first thing that came to my mind was his fridge with just all of the meat, just jerky and sauce. It's hilarious.
I love your dad, but like my dad is deli meats,
Jimmy Dean's,
spicy Italian sausage, and a bunch, like in his fridge, bunch of drumsticks. You know, like the chocolate drumsticks, like the cones. That's all it is. I like open up the fridge and my dad can I meal prep you like.
Hey, whatever
like a dorm
works.
room.
Whatever works. He's gotten this far.
strong as an ox.
Dude, my dad broke his arm when he was with the Knicks.
Okay.
And I went on a bike ride. I just got a brand new bike and I didn't tell them I was leaving. So I just dipped. And like I was
How
gone
old are you?
I was 10 years old. I was gone for hours. My parents had no idea where I was. I didn't even know I was in trouble. So I'm like coming up the driveway, like all happy. And I looked at my mom and dad in the driveway and I was like, oh man, I think I'm in trouble. Bro, the moment I got off the bike, my dad held me with his left arm and he was swinging at me with his cast.
Oh boy.
And I was like jumping like,
Oh boy.
I was like trying not to get hit. And I got loose and I sprinted upstairs and locked the door.
Oh my God.
But dude, when
He instilled it.
like Doc yelling at you, man, he should
Couldn't
be a
imagine.
Disney. He should be
I
a Disney
can't even
villain.
imagine.
Bro.
He could easily do voiceover for movies.
A Disney villain?
So good.
Like my pops is a Disney villain. Be
You're
amazing.
reading my mind because I felt like Doc's next thing should be some more voiceovers.
Has his voice always been like that, or have you heard it?
Nah, it just happened over years and years of yelling at players who won't
You
listen.
feel like it would recover
Really?
at one point. You feel like every time I hear him do that, I'm like, damn, like he didn't recover from like last week or something.
Nah,
like just
it's past
let's
that.
just have some honey tea for a
I was
second.
gonna say little
Doc.
chamomile, Doc. Little milk and honey.
It's stuck forever now.
That's it.
But it's dope because it's like it's his thing. Like it's almost like he's owned it. You know?
Question: Has Doc smoked weed in his life? Or you don't know?
Dude, he has to. Growing up in Chicago,
Nah, man.
Who knows?
Not to my knowledge. My dad's always been on the straight and narrow. Also, my grandpa, my dad's dad, was a lieutenant, cop. My dad came from a very strict household. I think
you're
that's
not
why
doing
the kids, like, he instilled that in us.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason I've never done drugs. Like, my sister, my brother, like, you know, everyone's been pretty much on the straight and narrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not that it's necessarily more wrong or right. It's just, that's just how we were raised.
no, dude, that's a blessing.
Yeah. Like you, I didn't lose my virginity until I was a senior in high school. I didn't even look at girls.
This is why we met each other at the bar
Bro,
together.
I didn't
You
even
never
look.
watched college basketball or
Never watched college basketball. I didn't even look at girls.
But you knew everybody wanted to fuck you, but you just didn't. Well, you didn't know what to choose, how to go about it.
Bro, not even that. Honestly,
Okay. Sorry.
I didn't even look at girls. Like, I just didn't even know they existed. It was basketball was my life.
Yeah.
I was one of the best players in the country.
Yep.
That's all I cared about.
Beautiful jump shot.
All my focus. I was ranked ahead of Mike Conley, Ty Lawson, all these cats like Greg
Steph
Oden.
Curry.
Like, all of them know me. That's why I know all these cats. Now I see them blossoming, doing their thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, bro, how are you not here with us?
Yes.
When I see them.
Yeah.
You were better than I was like, bro, I got hurt, ruined my career. But it was also like the best thing that happened to me. I wasn't meant for it.
Exactly.
And I had a lot of trouble with that. I had to see psychiatrists about it, and it built so much anger in me.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting into fights. I was going down a whole terrible path. I think we can cover it with the psychiatrist. But
Yeah.
I'm a late bloomer. Like, my 20s were gone. Like, my 20s were college to playing overseas
Yeah.
to playing in the G League.
But I mean, that's fucking amazing.
No, awesome.
I'm just
Awesome.
saying, but you put on a Georgetown uniform. That's fucking incredible. I got the Georgetown
Dude,
starter. I'm
you
like,
went
I
to
wear
the
that
Final
shit now
Four,
still.
bro. You played in front of tens of thousands of people.
Cheer
70.
Also,
Like,
when
come
you
on,
when you
what?
play in our adult league, you come and it was just like so smooth. It was just like a step above. The jump shot was just like, wait, this is just like I wanted more. I was like, be selfish, like shooter, shut the fuck up, give me more out of you.
I think when I say late bloomer, it's more like the girls partying, like maybe the other part of life that I didn't experience. I didn't drink until I was 28 years old. I never had my first sip. I never had alcohol in my life.
Until what age?
28.
28 years
Never
old?
sipped alcohol, bro. Like,
That's a good thing.
I was so regimented and locked in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when I came to LA, damn near at 30 years old, bro, I didn't know anything about anything.
So it was a perfect alignment when I met you.
And boy, did it throw you for a whirlwind. You went from not drinking to 28.
No.
To LA.
But
Not every day, I'm
listen,
just
listen.
And he met you.
No, but listen. Look, I still carry those qualities within me as well.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is why we were so tight. You know what I'm saying? Once you dive in the water, you go do it, and it's fun.
The whole point is like, sometimes I want to go in the desert and shroom.
Yeah. Well, I am your
and you
guide.
should.
Doc, I'm his guide.
You should.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that we've spoken about previously with some people that we know that study psilocybin.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a drug.
Oh, do you have somebody on here who?
Yeah, our friend who's the head of psilocybin at Yale.
Oh, really?
It was
Oh,
dope.
really?
Yeah, it was
He's the
dope.
head-
Conveniently next to Quinnipiac.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this could be, maybe we'll fly him out. We'll all go do it together. But he's the head of psilocybin studies for PTSD, all of these problems. And so when people say, I've never done drugs, I've never done mushrooms or LSD or any type of psilocybin, it's how if you think it's a drug, it will be. If you think it's a medicine, it will be. It's a thing that you can take, and I get like not wanting to lose parts of yourselves by doing too much or bad trip or whatever. It can be something that not only feels awesome and it's kind of crazy and you're like, whoa, I'm seeing some stuff. If your intention is good with it and you're with people that you love and you care about and you're in nature, I've only ever had spiritual breakthroughs. Like I went into it after way better. Like significantly better.
I guess the
Better
word pilgrimage is what made me think of it.
Yeah.
When I think pilgrimage, I'm thinking like,
I love that we're getting on this topic.
Yeah, let's take some right now. This is gonna be an 8-hour episode. We're going up north.
What's your you remember your first trip?
I do. My first mushroom experience, I was in acting school in New York City, and it's honestly one of the best memories I've ever had. It was our friend's birthday, and he's like a burner guy, like Burning Man dude, who had a big ass bus that was ripped out. And he was like, let's go up to Woodstock for your sister's birthday. And we were like, okay, let's go. So we take this crazy purple bus all the way from New York City to Woodstock. And we sat by the fireplace and we all took mushroom tea. And I remember just sitting there by the fire, watching it crackle for like 8 hours. And I felt super calm, super great. Meanwhile, my brother is outside tripping balls. He probably like 8 caps or whatever, built a huge igloo with 1 bucket. And we go into it and there's like a strobe light. And I remember I was poking at the snow and my hand with the strobe light looked like a woodpecker. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. And my sister's like, you're feeling it? I was like, I feel fine. I feel great.
You want to have someone who guides you.
Yeah.
Okay. Ultimately.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes,
definitely need that.
and sometimes like you don't, you know, when I was in college, there was a snowstorm and we couldn't do anything for a couple of days. Okay. There's a little place called Stop and Shop in Connecticut. We had this guy come deliver us some weed. Sorry, Mom, you're not going to watch this anyway. But anyway, so deliver us some weed and we're like, what are you up to? And he's like, hey, I'm going to try this stuff called Morning Glory. I'm like, what's that? Contains LSA, Ipomoa. Native Americans use it to trip, and you can buy it in its seed form, and it's flowers that your family grows on their front lawn. You can buy them at Stop and Shop.
What is LSA?
Let's look it up. I mean, it's like LSD, but like it's a different version.
Form or something? Okay.
Yeah. So my friend and I, we like scoot down in the snowstorm to the Stop and Shop down the street, and you look at the labels of these flowers, and they're like pearly gates, right? Crazy names. And we're like, how much should we get? And we just like grab a bunch, and you're supposed to like a tea, you know? And me being me, I just was like, yeah, fuck this shit. I was like, let's like raw dog these things. And so we eat, my friend and I, we eat these seeds. And to this day, I can taste them like this, like it brings me back to like this taste. It's like eating a coffee, like bean. I don't know how much we ate, but we ate a bunch. And we sit there, and my third roommate comes back, and it's a snowstorm. He comes back, and we're just sitting there, and we're watching the TV, and it's like fuzzy, and nothing's happening. And he's like, you guys good? Like, and all of a sudden, like, yeah, we're fine. He's like, all right, I'll be right back. And he leaves. And I look at my buddy, and I'm like, I'm going to go pee. And I go to the bathroom, I go pee. And then all of a sudden, I like, werewolf, like fucking, like skeleton in the fucking, like in the mirror. And my body just goes like this. And all of a sudden, I'm swimming. My elbow's going through the floor. And I'm just like swimming, and I'm in heaven. I'm just like, oh my God. And I'm for real was like melting. And then I open the door, and my buddy is on the ground, and he's swimming like this. And we did that for like a long ass time.
Like hours, probably.
Like hours, until my roommate comes back, and I'm sitting in a chair crying, and I'm having like these hologram visuals coming to me of like all the things that you know, the deepest depths of your life. I'm just sitting in a chair. It's all good. But I'm like crying. It's all coming at me. And I'm just like, you wake up. As long as you know that you're going to come out the other side, you're fine.
Yeah.
But that was a funny one. I forgot about that one.
So, given the industries you've been in,
Mm-hmm.
friends come and friends go, what have been, like, what are there deal breakers for you, or someone who's been in a close friend or in your group where you've had to let that relationship die?
It's an interesting question for me, because sometimes I'll talk to people, and when I hear they're talking about some issue with somebody, and I'll be like, what, like you're having a fallout? And I just don't have fallouts with people. You'll come across people who have fallouts, and sometimes those people have to take a look at themselves as to why that is happening. I want to do whatever I can for somebody. When I decide that maybe I want to give myself more attention and work on something, or can't like be there for them with everything that they're doing, and they come and they're like, oh, I have to explain that, unloading. I'm like, look, like I'm here. I think I've only had like a couple things that have crossed me where something has been said that just like it was like liability wise, or something that hit a tone with a family or something like that. A couple people. And still to this day, I still will, I've even reached out to be like, eventually like we'll get down. I don't like to leave a man down. No matter
But it was
what.
something that was said. It's not like something that someone screwed you over, or
I mean, it's weird. Like it's not necessarily like I haven't been like necessarily like screwed over on something, you know. Somebody else can look at something in a way or whatever. For me, it's like, hey, maybe there's other things like I could do to make something happen.
Yeah.
And it's like, who's to blame, or how's that go? And then I find like a new rebirth of a friendship with somebody on a new idea or something. It's like, it's an interesting concept to just like either count somebody out. You kind of see who you can cut out the bullshit. Just like I was talking about with Doheny, with people walking in there, you can just read. I always give the easiest advice is like relationships. It's like from a mile away, you can see. Ooh, it's good from far, but far from good.
So you've never had like a break, but do you think now, like for instance, leaving the nightlife, do you think that some relationships will slowly kind of fade because you're not doing the same things over?
Well, look, we get older, we get into different jobs, right? Family and all that kinds of stuff. I'm always there. I pick up where I leave off with people, right? Just like we do. Right, we literally do that, and I do that.
That's literally one of the things I love about you so much.
But that's it. You know what I mean? We're dead in 60 years, or I am 101. That's my goal. You want to keep the circle tight, but I'd like, look, it's just funny, even hearing like this kind of like terminology, like as it goes older, because I'm like an old like hip hop dude, like De La, Tribe, Far Side, like all this kinds of shit, right?
Yeah.
And that was all like jazzy and like your own kind of marching to beat your own drum, doing the thing and just doing your thing. And it's like whoever fucks with you and just being happy. And usually when you're happy, sometimes people like get mad at it.
Very true.
And like it's like
people don't like seeing people.
Like, no, but literally like it's one of those things where, you know, it's just like, they're like, why the fuck? You know, so why not? Should I dive into all the things that I should be mad about? One of the best qualities is like, if you cancel on a friend and they just don't give you any shit back, that's like great. Like, just let it be.
What car did you come in?
Oh, we jump into that?
I feel like the Amsterdam vehicle.
Yes.
It's just
for life.
It's for life.
By the way, you know how Amsterdam came about?
No.
So my boy who I played golf with this morning, Evan Silverberg, great guy. Instagram comes out and I'm like, dude, like, he's like, join this thing, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with this shit. And he's like, dude, like, come on, so many fun nicknames. Like, come on, like, I'm watching The Wire, like, Amsterdam, they sell drugs in that area and like in the show. It's like, oh, fuck, Amsterdam, done. Let's go. And like, that's it.
How the name
I'm not
came?
even me. This is Amsterdam for a long time.
Wait, so
Amsterdam.
your Instagram hashtag and your car license plate.
It's Cam Jam.
Cam Jam. But
Cam
both
Jam.
of them were people were like, you should do this. And you're like, yeah.
Nameplates are interesting, right? My stepfather, when I moved to LA, I lose my father. He lost his son. And so when we join things, it's just kind of like we're both bitter, but like I'm like, oh shit, I moved from New York like to the like under the Hollywood sign. I'm like, this is not bad. This is good. And he's got like the Tom Selleck like Ferrari. And like the license plate is Il Cavolo, which is like a baby horse. Il Cavolo, right? And then his other car is the old Johnny Cash Mercedes, and it says 10 for 10% because he was an agent. So like LA has the plates.
LA license plates
they
are
love
a
that
thing.
shit. They love that shit.
It's a thing. I saw one yesterday morning. It said on a call.
On a call. Oh, by the way, I know who that is. That's our boy Ben. He's.
I took a picture of him.
You know him?
By the way, the funny
You
thing
know
was,
the person?
I do know
Wow.
him. Yeah, he works in real estate. What's up, Ben? I'm gonna do like a coffee table book about like 1,000 of these photos because I got like for years I've got like a ton of these photos. Like, and I'll get them like I'll be like no matter what. Like I get
License plates.
I got tons of them. Okay, I'm like the weirdo who checks up on like plates and shit to see if anybody's taking them. But I wanted 8675309, and it was available for a long time, but somebody got it.
So with that being said, I'm curating a playlist for this episode. What are some Cam Jams I can add?
We have a lot of those. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, we're gonna drop a few.
Okay.
All right, we'll start with a little Far Side of the Fish for both of you. Okay? Because we know there's other fish in the sea. In the sea, that is. All right, both of you guys need that one.
Bring me a fish.
There's plenty. It's about finding the right one. Figure out yourself first. Okay, and then let's go with some, we gotta go with some Crystal Waters, Gypsy Woman.
Okay.
Okay, She's Homeless remix.
Crystal Waters, Gypsy Woman.
Let me give you a little deeper cut here. Let's go with...
So you're going to use a few of these on his playlist?
Yeah.
Let's go with...
I have all of them. I'll put all of them on there.
You're going to get more songs on the playlist than I did.
Really?
2. I got 2 songs.
Damn, I got too many.
I'm not the curator. I don't have Cam Jams. I'm just movie guy.
You on Spotify or Apple Tunes?
No, I'm just on my Cam Jam playlist. All right, we're going to go with a little Dan Hartman. I can dream about you. Okay, and then you know what? I'm actually
Maybe.
I gotta go with a little De La here.
De La Soul?
Yeah, De La is my shit. I actually help try to like advocate to get them back on, get them on Spotify.
Are they not?
Well, they are, but they weren't for years.
One song to end it. What would be your Cam jam? The one to end it.
Is there a song that embodies you the most?
I mean, there's just like a song I love for sure, but there's like a couple of them. It's either gonna be "Do It Again" Steely Dan or Althea Grateful Dead. Althea Grateful Dead.
I had a feeling it'd be
Althea.
some Steely Dan in there. So what's like in your career, your life, if you like accumulate all of those different things, what's the award at the end of your life when you're on your deathbed? What's the one that you'll be like most proud of?
I'm not necessarily looking for the award, right? I'm looking to celebrate the people's achievements where everybody just passes it by, and then we're on to like the next thing that is getting worse and worse if you actually look at it. You know, for me, music-wise or style-wise or all that stuff, we keep coming back to the past. So giving homage to that kind of stuff to keep that nostalgic thing up. As far as for me, like what's gonna satisfy it, I mean, you know, there's family things and things like personal stuff like that I want to make sure keep getting handed down.
Create like a legacy?
Yeah, legacy, but the grand scheme, we're so small in all of it.
Yeah.
So just like enjoying the ride, essentially the thing.
One of the purposes of life is to serve others. There are a few people who do that authentically and genuinely. I think you are certainly someone that comes to mind when I think of someone who serves others and asks of nothing in return.
Appreciate that.
And bro, I'm so thankful to have you on the show. I'm so thankful to call you a friend. Like, we truly love you.
Thank you.
And we appreciate you being on with us.
I'm proud of you guys.
Thank you.
This is great.
This is so fun. Thank you, man.
This is great. Your voices sound very, very good. Very
the
good.
headphones on.
This is going to do wonders on Raya.
Cut it. We're cutting. Love you,
Awesome.
man. Everyone, tune in and click the link below to get the newsletter with the menu. You get the full playlist curated by Jeremiah, as well as the full episode. Thank you guys for tuning in.